Alright, so it's been a little while since I've done any sort of installment in the Diecast tutorial series, but here we are. I finally have some time to do it. So in this video, we're going to be applying some Tamiya X22 clear. Now, I've already done that with this AJ Allmendinger car, and I'm letting that sit and dry for a little bit. I'm pretty happy with how this car came out, although the film around where the decals are, you can see it right there, is showing a little more than I would like it to be. So I'm trying to blend that back in the best that I can. But anyway, here are some other cars that we'll be doing, maybe in this video. Well, we'll do a couple. I don't want to. I feel like doing all of them would be just a little redundant. So, alright, let's start off with this 2013 Alex Bowman. I said this was Children's Miracle Network in another video. It's St. Jude Research Hospital instead, but along the same lines. So, I think this car was more of a flat color, like a flat black in real life. So maybe leaving it this way would be a little more realistic. I don't know if I mentioned in this take, but I have clear coated these cars, and that would explain why this is kind of bubbling up a little bit. You can see right there. Now that the camera's actually focusing in this take, you can see what's wrong with it. It's not super noticeable. If you're not a perfectionist, you probably wouldn't care too much about that. I think for the most part, this came out pretty well. But let's move on to some Maverick Cup Series cars. I did finish this Nick Gunther unicorn car, so this will be a good one to use for this video, because the decals I custom printed these out of my own printer. The problem is I use really cheap ink, and it can be a little sketchy. It doesn't really come out the best. I didn't match the shades very well, as you can tell. But it's a free car. He won Richmond 2 years ago, and that was the contest. This was the contest prize, or this was the race winning prize. And now the frickin' thing's not focusing. Now it is. Now that I don't have a free hand, it's actually focusing. I think that's fantastic, right? That's how it always is. But anyway, let's begin. So I'm going to take a little of this. You can just kind of tell a difference already. At least with the naked eye. I don't know about the camera eye, if it's really doing it any justice right now. But yeah, there you go. You see a little bit of that glossiness. Of course, it's wet. It's going to be glossy, but still, you know, when this dries, it's going to, I hope, look the same as it has before. Try to smooth this out a little bit here. Alright. Without touching the body. I'm going to switch sides here. Try to move this camera a little. I don't really edit these videos. I do have edited videos coming on the channel. I should probably do this under. Have something under this while I do it. So this is not really the best. And whenever I do try to edit a video in the gallery app or with YouTube, it takes extra long to upload. So this is just better. If you just bear with me, things are just a lot easier that way. Yeah, this Tamiya X22 is great stuff, and I've looked for it at Hobby Lobby, and despite their religious or political views, it's a great store, to be honest with you. I feel a little bad about supporting them because our views don't really align, and maybe I'm spilling a little too much about myself here. But Hobby Lobby is good, but they don't have, to my knowledge, any Tamiya X22. When I looked for it last week, wasn't there. But when it comes to looking for things, I'm basically Mr. Magoo, and in other words, I'm really bad at it. Not to sound ableist or anything, but oh yeah, look at that, nice and glossy, beautiful. No disrespect to anybody who's blind or deaf or have any sort of disabilities out there. Everybody is welcome in this on this channel, as long as you are kind and you're respectful to other people, and you know, you're not here to cause problems. We're all just here for the love of for this hobby, for the love of motorsports and perhaps other things that may be coming later on this channel. I'm not sure yet, but you know, I think we could. It would be helpful to try and stretch that a little further, you know, if we treated each other with a little more kindness and, you know, didn't focus on the things that divided us or differentiate us. You know, we're all humans, we all bleed the same. We're all brothers and sisters on this earth. And you know, I think we've really forgotten that somewhere along the way, or we've just never, as a collective, as a whole, we've never really acknowledged that. You know, a lot of egomaniacs out there, and it's hard not to be. All right, Keith Hughes' car is next. It's number 82. He won the 2023 Maverick Championship in this car. The Mountain Ops Honda Accord, which Honda is not a part of NASCAR, at least not yet. But in Maverick, in NR, you can run just about any manufacturer you wanted. You could run a Subaru, you could run a BMW, a Morse Minor, a Pontiac, sure, whatever you can put your mind to, as long as there's a template for it, or if you made your own template, then yeah, you can accomplish that. Now this is another car that I custom printed the decals with, and again, it's not perfect. I use cheap ink, and I've tried cleaning, do like some type of clean with the app. It gives you an option to do some type of self-clean, but that doesn't really help that much, unfortunately. And when you cut these types of decals, it leaves rips around the borders, and it's very unpleasant. And we got people yelling in the background, so, you know, that's just the way things are. I hope this is not bleeding all over the damn number. It's not really. Alright. Okay, let me get this Huang Do car. It's going to take me a couple seconds here. So yeah, like I said, I have clear coated these beforehand. So things, they do look a little dull, but I think it is a good way of securing the decals on the bodies. But this is just a nice way of adding some gloss to it, of course. Now this, okay, I should talk about this. This is not an actual die-cast body. This is what I ordered from Australia. And it's a plastic resin, whatever, plastic resin body. And it cost me an arm and a leg to get it over here. But this is another contest winner, another race winner, I should say, from Maverick. And this is a Dodge Charger body, which never made it to NASCAR, so Lionel never made bodies for it. But luckily, a gentleman in Australia did, and it's made it possible for me to do this. So I think that's really awesome. How often do you see a NASCAR Dodge Charger body from 2013 on a car like this? You know, this, I don't know, I think this might be the first of its kind. Unless people have used it for slot cars, which is really the main purpose that Pato has these on his site for. You know, it's really kind of blurry. Huangdo driving experience is what that says. And so I had to cut the spoiler. Oh my god, the spoiler was separate. So I had to cut that and glue it back on, and it's kind of funky. That's the only thing about this car I don't really like. And then I had to color in the windows, which, I don't know, they could look a little bit better. But this is another free car, so I'm not crazy about, I'm not really aiming for perfection. I mean, I am aiming for perfection, but I'm definitely not expecting it ever. I think when you aim for perfection, even if it's, you know, a couple grades below it, at least you were aiming for it. Because if you were aiming for just okay, then, I mean, what are you really going to get? If you go into it knowing that you're not, or thinking that you're not going to succeed, you're probably not going to succeed at all. You've got to make these challenges your bitch. And excuse my language, but that's just the truth. That's how we need to approach life. So after today, I'm pledging to myself that I am not ever going to eat fast food or drink caffeine or alcohol ever again. No drugs, no fast food. Replacing this with exercise and whole foods. So anyway, here's a Huangdo. Here's the Huangdo car before we attach it to anything. Like I said, that spoiler's a little, it's definitely funky. Very funky, and if it could just focus, I think that's about as good as we're going to get it. I hope he really enjoys this. Because I certainly enjoyed making it. It wasn't anywhere near as hard as I thought it would be. All I had to do was just cut out the holes for the wheels and just be very careful with the plastic body, because obviously they're more prone to snapping, cracking, ripping, snapping, crackling, and popping than anything else. But yeah, no, it was a fun experience. And Huang, if you're watching this, you've got a nice treat coming, and so do Nick and Keith. Anyway, I think that's gonna do it. we're already up to 15 minutes now. Thanks for checking it out, and I wish you luck in your diecast custom making ventures. See you next time.